Hello, you guys. So, this is just a little lesson that I hear so many complaints from men that women are too quick in sex. They are bypassing any sensuality, kissing, cuddling, sensual touch all over the body, a slow build up, a little bit of teasing, flirting, and they're going straight to really rough sex. And I think it comes from two things. I think it comes from maybe how they were groomed or abused as children or what they've seen in porn. Some kind of disconnection from their body or not even knowing what's possible. I know that there are a lot of guys who are like really quick to push women for sex, but when it comes to sex, it's not always that the guy wants everything to happen really quick. Um, it's really, really good to just slow things down and go at 1/10 the speed at which you think you want to go. Just to learn to be very present, to take things slow. And there are men who want that. Ladies, I am telling you, hot, really hot, masculine men who work, especially in male dominated fields, really alpha men, guys who are successful, that are sensual also. They want that sensual touch. They don't want to just have genital smashing. Okay? They don't want what's in porn. So you don't have to do that, and not all men will want that. So this is just an invitation and just some education to share what I've learned over my many years of talking with men. On a daily basis, I talk with men, okay? Not on here, but in other spaces in my personal life. And this is what, they're telling me. And for many years, I was an escort. And I know that there are men who want things what they've seen in porn, but there are also men who want things that are the complete opposite. So you get to decide what kind of man you're attracting, what kind of sex you want to have, and landing one of these really hot, successful, sensual men is going to require you to be a little slow down, you know? And just try it sometime. Just try slowing down. Try taking things slower. Try not doing everything all at once and just really being in your body and be like, well, what feels good to me right now? Rather than being on some kind of autopilot. I mean, I've had to work on this myself. And it's still something I'm working on with. I have some men that I see that I have arrangements with. Okay, so I am sexually active, not available to you guys, so don't. I'm just sharing here. Okay, I do interact with men in a sensual way, so I understand. I'm speaking from my own experiences, and I think it's each of us, when we interact with someone, whether it's relationally or sexually, we get to decide what we want to do, what we want to bring to it. And then the other person, if they don't like that, they can find someone that's a better match. You do not have to accommodate yourself to another person whose pace is too much slower, too much quicker than yours. And you don't have to make someone else the authority of your sexual experience, of your desires or your preferences. And I think a lot of men will be very surprised to learn that the world is full of these very hot, alpha, sensual men. I've been blown away by these sensual men who don't, necessarily want to do the fucking and the blowjobs. They want kissing, cuddling, affection that involves their penis or not involves their penis. I think that we have um, sold men short by portraying them as these brute Neanderthals that just want to hump, 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 and they're much deeper than that. they're much more developed than that. They're much more whole human beings than that. I think that the only people who are like these brute, let's smash our genitals together, are people who are sexually abused, people who are emotionally walled off, people who are copying porn. And again, they're in their heads copying something and completely disconnected from their bodies. I think that a healthy person is going to want to stay very embodied while they're physically with another person. And sometimes that's hard to do, especially when you're like, well, I want to make sure my partner is pleased. I don't want to upset my partner. I don't want my partner to feel rejected. And in these little moments, or, this is what guys want, this is what I should do, and just going on some kind of autopilot without checking in and being like, yeah, what do I want? I'm not your caregiver. I'm not your caregiver. I get to communicate. This is what I like. I need to slow things down. And I think that a lot of men are shamed. I was watching a video recently where someone was saying, I can't remember the channel. He's like, if I don't try to get in a woman's pants on the first date, she calls me a simp, and I'm just trying to get to know her. And I think that's a very unfortunate when women start shaming men and calling them, the worst thing you can call a man is being feminine, that he's not masculine enough because he doesn't want to just pull her pants down and stick his dick in, like be a Neanderthal pretty much. I would just tell these women, if you're looking for a brute Neanderthal, there are plenty of them out there. I don't know, some kind of a comeback, because I don't think it's healthy. I think that people who are so quick to do everything in bed are bypassing their humanity, getting to know someone, their sensuality, and so many other aspects of human touch, and going right for, genital bumping. Like, if that's what you want, you can go get a dildo. That's why I would tell these women, if you're just into genital bumping, you should get a dildo. Because I'm looking for a whole woman and a whole experience, so this isn't a good fit for me. Just tell them to go get a dildo. That's what I would tell these women if they don't want to slow down. And same with the guy, if he just wants to stick it in, he can go find some other bimbo, or he can get one of those pussy pockets. I really, really want to point this out to you guys. I cannot tell you how many I was like, wow, I can't believe that I had an appointment with someone so freaking hot that can get anyone. But they specifically wanted a sensual experience. Okay, and they didn't always want the fucking. Believe it or not all guys want to fuck everything that walks. And some guys don't want to fuck every time. They have other needs. They're actually real people. Every one of us at some point, we were children who wanted to be held and loved, and we still want to be held and loved. But as adults, we bring our sexuality into it, right? Our sensuality with the opposite sex partner. But to actually like cut that out and want it to be like spit on, choked, slapped, and do genital bumping, like, what went wrong with these people? Something went wrong with these people, if that's what they want. Something went very wrong with these people. They either saw something they shouldn't have seen or experienced something they shouldn't have experienced, because it's not healthy. And I'm going to say it's not normal. I know we're not supposed to say not normal because we're supposed to say everything goes, but I think these people have issues. They need therapy. If you want to do genital bumping with strangers and you don't want to get to know a guy or a woman, I think you need therapy more than you need the genital bumping. Because that's pretty much what it is. You need to have some eye contact. You need to see how that person's responding to you. You need to take things a little bit slowly. Let things develop like a souffle, I'm curious for your comments, but I'm just here to tell you, guys are not horn dogs like you think. The guys that are horn dogs, they're predators. They're predators or narcissists. They have issues, in my opinion. The average guy that wants sex, he wants sensual sex. He wants to be sensual, okay, passionate, not just genital bumping. He wants to encompass the whole person, the woman he's with, the man that he is. And I'm telling you, some of these guys are like blown my mind. This is another reason I don't want to date, because I have had, and I still have, some super hot guys that I get a chance to be with. Um, Not available to the public at all, but in my personal life that I have arrangements with, and I'm like still blown away. And for some, if they're like at a time in their lives where they don't want to date because they're focused on their careers, or they just got out of a breakup. But these are all relationship oriented types of men that I'm talking about. So I'm speaking from experience. I don't really have that many now. When I was working, I had a lot more, and this is why I'm speaking from experience. Men of all ages, 20s into the 50s, but mostly younger guys. These younger guys are a lot more sensual than these older guys, because the older guys were raised at a time when men were not allowed to have feelings. They were shamed for having feelings. And while they are very respectful, they're not as passionate and as sensitive as the younger men. I would say that the sensuality really declines after age 50. It's pretty rare to find a real sensual man over the age of 50. And I think that's another reason I like younger guys and there's a lot of guys in their 20s are still very immature. But I would say that the men who are successful and emotionally mature, they want a sensual touch, because they were raised at a time when their feelings were honored. They were raised in a time in society where men were allowed to have feelings, men were allowed to cry. And so they want to experience their emotions, and they are open to the softness of a woman. The guys that just want to smash, they were wounded as kids. They are emotionally walled off. Okay, the guys that don't care how you feel, the guys that don't care, that try to push you for sex, they don't care how you feel, they're predators, they're emotionally walled off. I would stay away from these guys because they're insensitive to what you want. These guys that want to take things slow, those are the guys that you want to be with, because they're sexual beings, but they're also human. They have a heart. They're connected to their hearts. They're hot, they're sensual, they're erotic, they're sexual, and they have their heart. And when you get a guy who just wants to smash genitals, you got a guy who's walled off from his heart because he was shamed for it as a kid. So he could be avoidant, like my ex-husband was avoidant, or he could be just like cruel and narcissistic and entitled and just take what he wants. He could be a groomer or a narcissist or anything. So watch out for guys who are not sensual and who try to push you for genital smashing. If they're pushing for genital smashing, they want to see pictures of your pussy, they want to hook up right away, they want to come over. Those guys are red flags. Stay away. The guys that want to take things slow, that want to get to know you, and while showing sexual interest at the same time. Guys, how do you do that? You don't push for sex, but you let her know that she's hot. And you look her up and down. You do those looks, and you make sure that you look her up and down, let her know she's hot, she looks great in that dress, your ass looks great in that dress, your earrings really look good, your eyes. You want to compliment her on her appearance without pushing for sex. Let the woman know, else you're going to get friend zoned. But that's a healthy man. He's not pushing for sex. He's not like a Neanderthal or like this needy, just impulsive, agitated guy who's just got to slide his dick in, or he doesn't even know how to contain his energy. You got to avoid those guys. That's not masculine. That's impulsive, uncontrolled, a man not in charge of himself, frankly. So I really think the guys need to hear this and the women need to hear this important video. Even put my jacket on to make this video so I could look a little bit more official. This is from Theory, by the way. I love Theory. I love their clothes. Thank you so much for watching my video.